Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted, with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, Josh DeTillio. Welcome to Savvy Broadcasting, Life Unscripted. I am so grateful to have you here this wonderful evening. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm grateful to have you here today. We're going to touch on a number of good things, but one thing important, which is making a positive impact on wellness in the workplace. So important because it's been a really hectic couple of years for businesses, and we want to help them get a groove on and also help the people that work with them, their staff, get the best out of what they can. And, because a healthy work staff is going to be able to give as much to your client, and we're all going to get to do the best possible work when we can come healthy. So welcome to Savvy.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
You betcha. So what brought you in really diving into the impact of wellness in the workplace?
Well, I was fortunate to work at a hospital, a couple hospitals ago. I still work at a hospital. And we were really excited about going on this wellness journey. A lot of our employees asked for it. And this was prior to COVID. And we really had a lot of great results, which I describe in the book. And I really, that's why I wrote the book, was just to detail that journey. And throughout COVID, we really learned the value of health and the value of team and productivity. And with the labor shortage, making sure that we really care about our employees and that we invest in them. Otherwise, they've got a lot of options out there. And so we really did well in this journey. And it was something I wanted to really memorialize in the book. If other companies want to go on a similar journey and really help their patients become healthier. Help their employees become healthier.
Yeah. And just to let everyone know, it's healthy you, healthy team, healthy company. And I love healthy. I myself, during the whole lockdown, there were kind of two roads I saw a lot of people take, which was they got more unhealthy because they were kind of in a lot of places locked down, like we were in New York. And then other people who said, I'm trapped. I had enough of Netflix. Let me do something else. And then they got to pulling out some weights under my bed, which is what I did. Or getting out and running or something like that. And I actually, got in, pretty good shape and started to work on my diet. So that's that. But there's more to a healthy workplace and healthy employees than just getting out there, doing a bit of fitness and eating well. It's also your mind, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a great point. And we talk about this in the book a little bit. We really focused on mind, body, and spirit. And it really takes all three. Now, the good news is when you start to really work on one of those three, then you want to work on the other ones. They're really all connected. And so we learned in our journey that once we started really helping people get healthier and helping them work out more and eat better, then they wanted to work on that mental health. And so we did some cool things, like we built a meditation room in the hospital. We did some different opportunities for breaks. Really did a lot of like group sessions, which was really great because, and even more so now. At that time, that was prior to COVID, but since COVID and during COVID, I mean, the burnout was real. And so the mental health was even more necessary. And being on the front lines in healthcare, we really bore the brunt of it. So yeah, it was fantastic. Really, again, working on the mind and the meditation and really just talking a lot about that. And I think employees really valued that.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because I think a lot of us did that when we first got shut down. Is we kind of went in like, we don't know where this is going. You can only take so much TV, Netflix, or whatever, till you start going, okay, what else do I do in my four walls? So you start working more. So I found myself working 15, 16 hours at first, really. And so did a lot of my coworkers, and continue to do so. Sometimes not even getting out of their bathrobe, staying in their pajamas all day long, which the mindset of that, just not getting out, breathing fresh air, seeing other people. I had a couple of friends, a couple months in, say how depressed they were because they weren't making that connections with other people. Talk about some of the programs or ideas that your book came up with as far as making those connections with other people as part of a healthy, broadening, healthy wellness part of the workplace.
Yeah, no, we definitely saw that, and we all, and if we don't know from the data, we intuitively know that the personal connections really are one of the major factors that contribute to longevity and a long life, having good family and friends. So yeah, that was extremely important for us. We really did a lot around inside the hospital and in the community. We had people go to different events, different community events. We also encouraged people to do several of the races around town, whether they were 5Ks or triathlons. And so those were great gathering points as well too, where a lot of our team would get together. And then, a lot of after hour stuff if they wanted to participate as well too. So really making it fun, making it, a cultural type thing where people could get together and enjoy each other, as once they got off work and really, let off some steam after a long day.
That's a great point. I remember our HR department of the place I work at had come up with a great idea when people were on lockdown that once a month we get together with and they would assign a random person we didn't know in the company. We have quite a few people in the company. Oh, you're going to have lunch with XYZ today via Zoom. But now we're meeting someone new, we're connecting with them, and they gave us a little bit of homework, which we were first like, homework. But it was basically like, tell the person a little bit, something that's important to you, what's your hobby, just to get outside your skin a little bit and meet someone because I think even when you work in an office, it's easy to get into the day to day and not think, okay, let me go outside my comfort zone and meet Sally over there in another department. I never deal with her. Let's just get to know each other and, broaden our horizons a bit.
Yeah, no, we did a lot of that as well. And in the hospital, we have a lot of different departments. So really a lot of cross training, a lot of interdisciplinary type work really helped us as well too. And, especially during that time when we were going through the wellness journey, they shared a lot of stories with each other, what was working for them. And we also pointed people in the direction of some of the great success stories, because a lot of people were able to kind of cure themselves from chronic disease, potentially lose a lot of weight, lower their blood pressure. And, if someone came up to me and they said, Josh, I'm trying to do this wellness journey and I'm struggling a little bit. And I'm not seeing any improvement, I'd say, well, why don't you go talk to Johnny? He had a similar problem and, he can tell you about the things he did. And that's better than me as a boss saying, well, you should eat better and you should, go, run a mile or whatever it is. But they heard from their colleagues, success that was happening. And often, we don't want to hear from our boss or our spouse how to improve our health, right? We want to hear from our friends. We want to hear from people that have had success just like us, right? And even the experts. I mean, we don't want to hear from them either. I mean, we listen to them, but we think that they have all the time in the world and they're not living a busy life. And when you talk to someone who has a busy life and has kids and was able to find the time to eat right and work out, then you really take that and you really take it and you use it. And so that's why those connections and that really helped build the success that we had.
Yeah. And what I saw in the place we work at is a lot of the girls would get together and guys and would get together as kind of a group and just go work out together or bring in healthy lunches and share them, which was really cool because that way, it's not like you need a lot of money. The guys like to go, hey, let's spot each other, that type of thing. Very guy, getting together and having that guy time. But what have you found? Because a lot of our business owners listening in don't have maybe a slew of money, but they have employees and they'd like to do something to help their employees stay well and healthy. And where can they begin to get started as far as finding a good program for them?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really that I know of a set program out there, and we did ours kind of a grassroots, ground up, and trial and error, and saw what worked and what didn't. I would say a couple things. There's a couple different buckets. One is definitely the food. If you have food offerings in your location, in your company, I would say add more healthier options. When you try and take away some options, people don't really like that a lot. So add those healthier ones, and then you'll see kind of some people choosing some healthier options. So that's important. Encourage a lot of fitness. We had some on-site yoga. We had some on-site workout classes, which helps as well. So encourage that. Also, the other component I talked about was the meditation room, have places to go for people to decompress, to, really, meditate take some time for themselves. And then, lastly, the higher level stuff really gets into the data and the health insurance type things, where if you're providing health insurance to your employees, what incentives can you offer the employees through your insurance company for healthier living? Are there discounts on the health insurance that you can work with your health insurance carrier on? Are there different goals that can be set out, or different other monetary rewards that employees can achieve, for achieving a certain blood pressure or BMI or whatever it is? And then you can also utilize that data to really try and see who's healthier, who's not, and what you need to do to kind of tweak. So there's a lot of opportunities. One other thing we did was a kind of a group therapy type session for food. And we'd have small groups that would get together, and they'd get together weekly and talk about what they ate. And there was a nutritionalist, and it was physician supervised. And so different programs like that. And for that one, it was about $600, and we would pay $300, and then the employee would pay $300. So we had some skin in the game, and so did they. And that translated to a lot of success too. So, all these different programs can work, and you just want to make sure that you're investing in your team and they're investing in themselves. And I think you'll have good success.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned you paid half and they put a little skin in the game, because I think that really lends to the success of the employees or anyone coming in on a new journey or wellness thing, that they all put a piece in it. Because if you just gave it to your employees, most of them will just kind of fall off the wagon. And another thing I heard from some people is that, for one, I don't have enough time to leave my desk. And number two, I'm just too overweight or it's too uncomfortable to work out. So I thought it was interesting that one workplace suggested 30 minutes for 30 days kind of challenge. And whoever would meet that challenge would get like a gift card of like $100 to Amazon. But basically it was to try to get them out in the city for 30 minutes for 30 days just to walk about. And, and just because usually lunch hours, an hour. So this gets you out for a half hour, and you still get back to your desk. Maybe you bring a lunch and you could still eat it, but this gets you some breathing time. And I just find for myself, when I do leave the desk, that even though I tell myself, oh no, I got to finish this, that I do feel so much better when I just leave my desk for a little bit.
No, you said a couple things. I mean, one, the walking and just doing a lot of walking is really, people don't understand the power of that. It's very powerful. You can lose a lot of weight, and, it's much better than sitting. And then second, the gift card or other rewards, and we talked about it with the health insurance, the monetary piece is a big piece. Now that's a little unfortunate, but when it comes to money and people investing their own money or potentially making money or getting discounts, that's when they really go for it, right? And they really achieve success. So if you can put some dollars on the line, then you're gonna accelerate the improvement and the productivity of your team.
Oh my gosh, Josh, do you remember this? There was an app I heard of just before the pandemic. I don't remember the name of it, but there was this app that you would put in a by date, like by XYZ date, I will either lower my blood pressure or I'll lose 50 pounds or whatever it is. And then you'd have to put I will do it by this date. And then you would put down every month, you would put down I'm going to put in $10 towards my goal. And I'm going to give myself 12 months to complete the goal. And then, so I'm putting in $50 a month. And then you can ask your friends to donate to your goal. So say you get 10 friends to donate $10 or $50, whatever, per month. At the end of the year, if you reach that goal, you get all that money. And if you don't, the people who are doing the app, they get the money.
Wow. No, I did not. I was not aware of that app, but I wish I would have invented that app. That sounds
I know.
Cool.
I don't remember the name, but I remember someone at the gym mentioning it. I was like, wow, is it working? She's like, yeah, I lost a bunch of weight. Because as you mentioned, it's that financial reward. And then you hear of people who do runs for charity. And then they collect money and people put in for it, and then you give it to your charity. Well, I guess it's a charity for your health. But I thought it was a really unique app because it's holding you accountable. But at the same time, you don't get rewarded unless you complete it.
No, I like that one. I'm going to look that up. That's
Me too. I got to remember that. That was really cool.
If you got $2,000 coming to you, maybe you'll pass on that extra donut, right?
That's right. The only thing that makes me, and you tell me what you think, Josh, is that whatever goal you make for yourself, how do you make sure your goals meet the long term and not just the short term? Because I think that's a hard thing. You'll be like, oh, I want to do XYZ for the summer, but like, how do you make it a lifetime goal?
No, you have to make it sustainable. And that was really our goal as well too. And I think people learn when they go through that process and they learn from others that they can make it sustainable. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And like we said earlier, it's awesome when you can find other coworkers or people to jam in with you, because then you can make it fun. I mean, I found it in the office when we went the 30 minutes, 30 days. It becomes a fun venture. Where do we go to today? Walking. It's not the same old as you just leaving and going, I'm going to walk around the block, come back. It makes it more exciting.
It does make it more exciting. And then you have people that are in it with you. And as you know, when people are doing the same thing you're doing, there's a big bonding going on and camaraderie. And then, you start losing weight and you get more compliments and you compliment the other people. And it just feeds, right? It just grows from there.
Yeah. And the other thing we first mentioned, which is the mindset, not the mindset, what do you call it? The mental aspect and building friendships and community is such an important factor to your overall mental health.
No, it totally is. You got to have that component to it. When you're in a group setting and everyone's eating healthy and they're working out, you don't want to let the group down. If it's just you by yourself, then yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll have a cheat day or do whatever it is. But if the group is on the line, you won't let the team down.
Absolutely. Now, this is not the same as what you're talking about. They're letting the group down, but we had a boss at an old company I worked at who would do these quotas for our department that if we reach XYZ goal as a team, then we would all get to go bowling or we'd all get to go for a nice restaurant where he'd treat us and we'd like be out of the office for 3 hours. We're like, yay, no work for 3 hours. But stuff like that got us not only working towards the common goal, but working together, which is just another way to use this for your health as well. So, this is awesome. I don't want anyone to leave here today without getting their very own copy of Healthy You, Healthy Team, Healthy Company. How can they do that?
They can just go to Amazon and do it. And if they need to contact me, if they need help with anything, you can find me on LinkedIn.
Awesome. And they can find you at LinkedIn at Josh DeTillio. No, how do you say it?
Joshua DeTillio.
DeTillio, and I'll spell it DeTillio. And thank you, Josh, for coming today to Savvy Broadcasting. It's been a great pleasure meeting you and having you share your wisdom today. Thank you.
Thanks, Christine. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
You betcha.
Like, subscribe, and share this episode. To listen to more savvy episodes and savvy biz tips, go to www.lifeunscriptedradio.com. To find out about our paid sponsorship opportunities or how to become a guest, email Christina at lifeunscriptedradio.com.